G'day, this is Dark Underlord. Before all the shooting starts in America, I wanted to show off my 7 Days to Die build. I'll get to this one later. I'll actually start off with the build I put in over here, which started as my just initial base so that I could get all the concrete and all the stuff so that I could build that, which is still a work in progress, but again, wanted to do this before all the shooting started and because this is finished. So this is a build I call Jen's Bakery, going by the obvious sign there in case you have problems reading. So I've just done as a fence here some round with some little round blocks, and you can see I've got it open as a store. So you come down, look at that, lovely garden. I've got all the crops, all the good shit, you know, the super corn, the blueberries, goldenrod that no one gives a shit about. So the build itself, the building, is, you'll see I've actually used the, I think 100 column, this, Flagstone Pillar 100, and I've upgraded that all to actually steel to stop the zombie incursions. And because I wanted a log cabin type feeling, so you can see I've painted it with that wooden texture and the log end on each of all those ends, just so that I can have that sort of log cabin type feel. And it's a bit big, it's not a small build, and next door's even worse, but I quite like it. So we start off, we've got a fountain here. That actually here is just so that we can all in, because water is a bitch. I will just do a tour of the garden. So I've got these sort of terraced gardens at the front. Come up here, just cotton. I've painted the farm plots hay and wood. So here's your fence as it goes down the sides. I've got some, I can't remember what these peach trees here. Mushrooms on the side of the building, because they don't need farm plots. Again, going all your garden, it's a bit hard to sort of see all the plants with these peach trees. These are just so that's a little bit better, but I could have it, because these are apple trees, which is also a mod, and I think orange trees and cherry trees. None of which I use, but that will actually regrow, so it's a good way of harvesting wood. Again, looking at the building, so you can see for the roof and the outside here, I'll start with these windows. So these windows, in order to have those bars there, so the bars are rotated that they're, if this makes sense, to the left of a block, which you can see there, but I've had to put these bars in to hold them, and then I put iron hatches on the inside, on the side, so that I've got window shutters. But because of the roof really needed to be one block higher. I had to cut these bits out just to do that. And you can see these little gaps underneath because of the roundness of the logs. You can sort of see gaps in between some of the rooms and things inside, but for the most part it's got the effect I like. I think it looks pretty cool, and as a starter base, pretty swish, so I'm quite happy I've finished it now. And considering I wasted my entire Christmas locked inside of a cabin because of the current plague, thought, why the fuck not, I'm doing a YouTube video. So this is going to be a pathway into another build out the back, which is a work in progress, as you can see. Whether I get the time to finish that or not, I don't know, but moving on. So I've just done farm plots around orange trees. I did have, I think, birch trees or whatever they are, the big tall pines, but they were a bit too close to each other in this layout. I've got a little outdoor dining area here, over there on the side, and up here, so you can see it's 3 levels, which I'll go show you inside, or 4 levels if you count the roof. Got him there was an iron hatch door here, the zombies must have broken it. They broke it, well, right. Okay, zombies have broken things and I have not been paying attention. I did not realise that. Yeah, I'm going to have to remove that ladder. I put it in there because I thought it was a nice way to get out, and zombies have just gone, oh, we'll climb up and attack. So I need some defences here. Anyway, moving on. So nice little outdoor dining area, going with the Jen's Bakery theme, and again the windows all open so that you can look in and see, which we'll get into in a moment. This is the bakery in a moment, we'll walk in. So those are my gardens. These are all, I liked the walking down effect, so using stairs just going down to farm plots rather than having farm plots either built up or having them at the ground level. That's just a thing I like. And again, supercorn here. So each of these plots are actually 50 plants, so when I harvest them I get 150 plants. Right, let's go inside. You'll see I've got lights outside which are not on because it's daytime and they're on a timer. But as we go inside, there's an electric timer relay here. We'll talk about the electricity in the moment. And I've got some auto turret guns there. So going in, this is the main part. So this server is the Grindhouse server. You've got player vending machines over here where I've got some medical supplies, food and drink. Some of my food and drink. Tools and stuff. Plants. Schematics. They're just the basics because I didn't want 500 vending machines to maintain selling a bunch of shit. Just close that in case you please. You can see I've got lights, so it's all fully lit. And again, I'll go through how I've done that in a moment. So Jen's Bakery, and again, because I'm a donor on this server, means I'm entitled to have a trader put in my place. So Jen, got a woman behind the kitchen, in the kitchen, behind the sink, right where she belongs. Am I right? Moving on, I've got a mezzanine level up here. So going up here, we've got, I actually added this after. So a bit more dining, some empty bookcases, and toilets. Now, for the lights, that, just in case you need to go to the dining. All the lights in the building have a light switch in the room that controls the lights, so you can turn lights on or lights off. And I got that in the wrong order. Obsessively closed doors here. Moving on, so going down, and I actually do like this, quite like the mezzanine sort of concept. Again, I'll explain the lighting a bit later, or the electricity wiring a bit later. Excuse me, and I'm just coming over a cold. So, going through the bakery area, you can see I've got the kitchen, I've got some ovens, got a working sink. I was using these ovens as my cooking, but because you can actually reach them through the front, you can actually stand out the front and reach through. I had to build 2 ovens inside in case of thieves stealing my shit. I'll go through here to the she's got a light above her, which makes, in the dark, makes it good at shadows. It really needs to be a little bit forward, but I couldn't work that. So this is the workshop. I'm actually really happy with this workshop. So you can see I'm not one to put all the forges on the walls, because I know I can stack those right above that. I prefer the concept of functional and yet looking stylish. So I've built a shelf here that they sit on. Again, I've got more forges. That's my brass and lead forge. 5 cement mixers, honestly, is no shit. I really had a major impact to pieces. Excuse me. I did not realise this had happened. So, in all honesty, they're doing cement at the moment, and I've never found that I need more than 5 cement mixers, because building what I'm building next door is a bit of a slow build. Once I know what I'm doing, yes, I need a lot of concrete, but yeah. So here I've got all my storage boxes behind workbenches, so they're actually in the wall. There's another wall behind that for obviously security reasons. I've got a safe here just to keep some valuable, guns and things I like. This is what I call my party chest, which is all the supplies for Horde Night. 2 chemistry stations. I haven't needed more than that, and you just see all the stuff that I put in my box. So most of my crafting components. Oh, this is a bit hard to get to. This one all in one box, as you'll see. And I'm not much of a loser. I've been spending most of my time building, so I've just got 12 boxes here that are just my, when I go out looting and I get shit, there it goes. Right, there's the ovens I said about, and workbenches, and another forge which I use for my miscellaneous stuff like lead windows and whatnot, glass windows, whatever. And again, so light switch, light goes on, light goes on. Isn't that cool? I spend a lot of time on that. So I'll just grab, before I go, I want those in a minute. Alright, moving on, we've got a library area, which is where we store any of the mods and schematic books that we get. So I wanted, these aren't written boxes, because I like the bookcase texture, but I needed labels, so I can see I've done a shelf there, and I had this shelf stairs here, or up here, sorry, that I've done. And so I've been able to put labels on the sides. So anything I grab, that one's empty, that logs, things like that, I just obsessively sort and organise into boxes. And you can see even here I've organised all the books so that I know what's missing. Again, lights for this room and off. We'll go downstairs before we go upstairs. So going down, so you can see downstairs, first of all we transition from the round to solid. I haven't put lighting down here, I haven't really gone much further. Oh, a few minor bits here. This was actually going to be an additional storage vault. I haven't needed it, so that can sit there. These are auto liners are a mod. There's another one that's I upgraded but I haven't repainted. Auto miners are a mod in this game that just generates stuff, so you can go through and collect all even glass actually. So this is how I'm getting my resources now. I need to dig. And usually out of the 4 mines here, usually about 6 full stacks of iron, 6 full stacks of stone, not more. Again, about 6 stacks of clay. So I got some brass, there's some more brass, sorry about tall. There we go, now my head's about that close. So I've still got more to harvest, and the idea was I'd have another. I got shelves again to put more auto miners on. Something I'll show you about. So then we go downstairs to nothing, basically, and that is just an old mine where there was coal. So this is how I got my initial stone and resources. So you can see these columns, you can see the whole base. I've put what I call foundation pillars right down to the bottom. I've got a gen. I've got an extra gen in my basement. Righto, anyway, moving on. So that just goes down to bedrock, and that's just your foundation pillar. So I've found with those pillars, which are not technically every 6 blocks, like here they're every 6, here I've gone, you can see I've gone 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I've actually haven't had any structural stability issues with the build. So I have pushed it in a few spots, just because I didn't want columns in the middle, or walls in the middle, which I've found I've been able to get away with. So, and the build next door, I've done the exact same thing. So I don't dig out the hole underneath, I'll just dig straight down and nerd pole all the way back up, putting rebar and concreting it as I go, and jumping up and plonking rebar and concrete out again. And that just ensures I've got the stability I need, because I do some pretty crazy big builds and shit, and not having the roof collapse is an ongoing problem. I will show you these windows here we go. Close the shutters, so if I wanted to I could run around at night and close up the shutters. They don't, but it also gives me a nice layer of security, because it gives me those bars, plus the zombies have to break through that block at the bottom, plus they've got to get through the windows if the windows are actually closed, which they are, and the zombies break through the door anyway. So moving up, so this is just a little lounge area. That's another bit that's been upgraded, so gosh, steel, but I haven't noticed. So going upstairs, this is my lounge room. So you can see the telly there. Again, we've got light switch with a junction box above, which I'll explain in a moment. Lights go off. I'll take my headlight off. It's actually quite nice with the windows and the sun coming in. And lights go on. So I'll show you the bedroom in a moment. These are the lights for outside, although they actually power a timer relay, because I wanted these lights to come on at night. Here and here. So this is just a balcony. You can come out, have a seat, overlook your diners, watch the garden, look at the work in progress next door. Fun stuff. Moving on. Oh, and you can see for the build, I've alternated between sort of solid columns that are going up straight up and down, or solid logs going up and down with these logs on the side, the actual wall, and for door entries and things, that's a solid square block. So you'll see those from time to time. I've just done that because otherwise it was a bit funny walking over one of the round logs. If that was a round log, it just feels weird, not look weird. So this is just a thin wall, and again, this was additional, or is additional overflow storage in case I need. This is damage. No, for some reason there was a fourth one there, and they just knocked it out. Somewhere in here I have furniture which I cannot see. I'll wait for that later. We'll do the bedroom first, the master suite. So you come in again. Oh, lights. Go on. Now some of these lights are off because I don't have enough solar to power the whole thing. But here we've got a lovely little robe, plenty of dressing room. Here you can see the square block for the doorway above. So this is sort of my cupboard, and you'll see this is a bit deeper. I'll show you in a minute. Computer in my bedroom, nice, safe, filing cabinet, all the important paperwork. Yeah, I've totally laughed it up, fuck you. I don't go into this room, I just decorated it, and I haven't used it since, but again, same window concepts, and a lovely view of the library next door, which again, will be work in progress, but I wanted to show this off now while I could. It's a pity you can't paint trapdoors or can't paint hatch doors or even wooden normal doors, because it would be cool to have hatches here that I've painted bookcases, because, get rid of that, open that, there's a secret safe. So there's that's sort of the idea. You're supposed to be able to bookcase that moved and you'd go in, but you can't do that in this game, so you just have to play pretend. Moving on, guest room, shut up, don't judge me. Again, lights. So here we go, lovely little sconce lights, which I quite like. Bedroom. You can see that's actually my bed because I built it after I put the bed in my bedroom next door, and you can't pick these up to re-put them, and I haven't bothered crafting more beds, so if I die that's where I spawn, and who cares. Walk-in wardrobe. This was going to be a bathroom, but I thought no, I'll go for a walk-in wardrobe sort of look. I put the bathroom upstairs. I didn't have a bathroom in this place originally, and it bugged me when I went to decorating the interior because I spent so long just making concrete for next door, and then thought I want to finish this off and get it all done. Again, lovely views out the window. I actually really like looking out all the views that you get looking out on the garden throughout sort of the build. So again, we've got the lounge room, so going upstairs with a mezzanine here where we have electrical that I'll show you in a minute, and I'll just put my headlamp, actually I'll turn my headlamp on. So here's the bathroom, so mirrors, working sink, toilet, all the mod cons, shower and a bath. I actually did want to put water in here, but if I put water in there it bugs out and flows out. I know why, and to fix it I have to make it bigger, but I like the sort of corner round tub. And again, light switch, light goes off, light goes on, and you can hear the hum of my solar panels in the background. And again, lovely views out on the garden and of next door. Right, moving on. We'll go upstairs first before I show the electrical. So here, again, this server is modded, so we've actually got beehives that generate honey. This is going to be a problem because once I do that, it'll pop. So you can get some honey, which is 25 ounces basically. I haven't found more than 4 because 16 jars of honey will last me ages. And over here there's some chicken nests which get your eggs and chicken meat and feathers. Not that anybody actually uses feathers. Again, looking at the library next door, which I'll get to in a moment. So you can see here I've actually built. One thing about this server too is they actually let you place not 1, not 2, but 4 LCDs. So I've got my land claim block in here. It's a 2 land claim block build next door with a 65 radius on each land claim block. And I did have one out the back, but I've actually nixed it at the moment, so that I'm not too worried about. I might even, because I don't think I'm going to have time to finish off the sort of majestic tower design concept I have before the server wipes at the next update in a couple of months, because this has taken me a while to do. As I said, Christmas and being stuck because of a plague. You can see here my solar panels. Now it shits me off to no end that I cannot connect one solar panel to another. The power source cannot have a parent connection, because what it means is I have to run 2 separate circuits throughout the entire build. One for lights, which I think is the top one here, using most of the power, and one for the turrets. I think this one, turrets. Anyway, I'll show you now. Electricity. So electricity is, if I could connect those two solar panels together, I could then run them into one set of battery banks. I could have actually these two battery banks and I could have them in series so that they would power the entire build, whereas instead, we'll turn the lights on in here. Instead, I basically have to have one battery bank that goes off to the turrets and another battery bank that goes off to the lights. So you can see here, this goes from, there's a cable there that's visible, because I kept that visible, I wanted to. Goes in here to a relay just down to the battery bank, to a master light switch. So all the lights in the building, I can turn off with this one switch. And now you see all the lights are off, and just trust me, they're all off. And even this light switch, see, it doesn't work, no power. Or I can turn them back on. And same with the turrets. So that turns the turrets off outside or turns them back on. So got a bit of storage, again going with that sort of shelf look, which is just some thin plates rotated up with the flagstone poles on the side, but I think I've upgraded these to concrete. Pretty much everything I try and upgrade to concrete, and for my master built base, which I use to, with all the furnaces which attract all the screamers, I generally upgrade to steel. Now, what I want to show you about this is in each room you will see a junction box. And what I've found is, I will show you in, I'll start here. So we go from the battery bank to the master light control switch. So that switch then goes from there, and I'll do this. So I will cut the junction box, and now you'll see that wire appears, and you'll see what wires here don't. Because that goes to the junction box there, which makes it, the minute you connect a light to a junction box, regardless of where that junction box is in the circuit, so you don't need to connect light, junction box, light, you just need to connect to a junction box, and all the wires from this source will be, all the output wires will be invisible. All the input wires will still be visible, but the input wire for this comes from a junction box, so it's invisible, if that makes sense. So if I do, if I cut wires going into that, so if I show you, shit. I think I've just completely ruined all the lights. Nope. If I do that, right, you'll see here, my last master light control switch goes from there to there, but if it also goes from here to there, suddenly that wire has disappeared. So what that means is, to get lighting through the building, I'm going from the switch to these junction boxes that I label. Then I go from here into the switch in there. So from the lights into the light switch. Now you'll see here, this light then goes to, or this switch goes to the two lights and to the junction box. So what it means is, let's say I want to add an additional light, or this one of the lights isn't working, or I can't quite figure out the circuit. I can go into a room, find the junction box, I can left click to cut the cable, and that severs the connection from there to there, which shows the wires. And now you see a wire going up and a wire going there. So I can now rewire these and say, oh, actually I want to have that from there to there. And then, okay, yep, that's how I want to wire it. So now what I'll do is I will hide those wires, connect that to the junction box, and you will see the output wires from here, which go to there and there, have gone invisible. But because there's an output wire from there, it's visible. So I would then have to either go from an output here to the junction, and that wire becomes invisible, but a junction box can only have one input. So what we do is, we go from light switch to light switch to light. Yep, that's working good. And light switch, I want to hide the wires, boom, all the wires are now invisible. So I've done that in every room. Don't mind the go outside, I heard something. So downstairs, again, you'll see there's a light switch with a junction box above it. So if I turn the lights off, let's say the lights aren't working, or I want to add another one, or I just want to see how I've wired them. Again, go to the junction box, cut the wire, all my wires become visible. So we can see here all my lights are connected to this switch. Righto, okay, yep, that's what I want. So connect back to the junction box, wires go invisible. Again, going in here. Now, here, these light switches are connected directly from what I'm calling the master light control circuit. So I've got junction boxes with live power coming from here to there. Whoops, picking that up. And then I go from the junction box there to the light switch there, and then from the junction box there to the light switch there, and again to the light switch there. Now that only goes so far before I need to put another junction box in. So if we go downstairs and go into the workshop, you'll see there's another master light control circuit. So that's connected to the one upstairs, goes down here, and then we connect from here again to a light switch to the lights, light switch to the junction box. So again, I want to see what the wiring in this room is like. Go to the junction box above the switch, cut, righto. Yep, that looks good. I can add my extra light, put the wiring in, whatever, and then reconnect that to the junction box and hide them. So that's how I've wired this place up. So in every... It's a bit bright. It's really bright. I don't know what... Oh, it's because I'm hiding my cables that show me the yellow stuff. So again, light switch, junction box above, hides the wires for this room, light turns them on and off, but doesn't affect the master switch. So the master, what I call the master control circuit. So again, the circuit that I've got for the turrets, you can see over here, I've got a master light control circuit and another master turret control circuit. That only got me this far, so there's another light control circuit which is then connected to the relay out here, and then that relay to the lights outside and the junction box to hide them. Turrets, to get the power out to the turrets out the front, go turret to there, from there to the one down here, and then you'll see there's a hatch in my garden. And out here, boom, to the junction box, and that junction box is then actually connected directly to the turrets that you see around here. I could have put a switch there, some other things. No, I didn't bother. So there you go. That's the bakery. I'm quite, as I said, quite happy with it as just a starter base, just to give me the concrete I need to be able to build. You'll go outside in a minute. It's okay. This next door, which I may as well go through now because I suspect I'm not going to be able to finish it before the white, because it's taken me a while. And you can see it's quite large. So we start off with outside. We've got... Okay, I'm going to let the dog out. The dogs are out there and he's just going to bite his head off at them. So I've got this fence around. So I've put a fence, as the same I've put around the bakery. You can see a fence, whoops, around there. See, I've got this, I'll just do a run around. I'm running really fast because I've got the Run Baby Run mod. Again, that's a mod that's installed on this server, which is something you can put in your boots. There we go. See, Run Baby Run. Which just lets you run really, makes you run fast as basically a motorbike. And if you drink the Mega Crush and put on a college sports jacket, you run really fast. So this is the library. So this build started as, this is sort of what I wanted to build initially and make my workshop, and I just realised I needed another workshop, hence the small little workshop next door, which became quite elaborate, as I tend to do, before I did this. So we got a little plaza. I'm not actually happy with this plaza and the fountain. The fountain, somebody else in this server actually has a much nicer fountain out the front of a place called Sads, and I'm totally going to steal that design next time for the plaza if I ever build something. But just here, there's a full trench around it. I've got to concrete all that up. Just to give me a bit of security. Doesn't work, the zombies just hop the fence here and hop in and then start smashing things, but hey, whatever, who cares. So let's go inside. So we go inside, we've got the Hall of Statues, or the Hall of Heroes. You can see I've got wonderful, I've got no lighting in here either, so that's also something that'll be the last thing I do. So again, got all the important, you know, statues to people. As you can see, this guy, really important. A lot of originality went into this room, as you can see. Yeah, good stuff. I've got my columns with about a gap of 7 between them, 7 blocks between them, just so I've got the structural support. And these columns go all the way down and all the way up through the build. If we keep going, so I've got some windows up here, so I'm just reading what the guy said. I had that same problem just now. I think another reason why I'm doing this is I think there might be some glitches in the server, which has me mildly concerned. Anyway, going through here, open the doors into the stairwell. Welcome to the library. So this roof was a bit of a bitch. As you can see, it's quite a large area without any support columns. So the walls are the support columns and they're steel. Just because steel has that little bit extra support to be able to support the roof. Hang on. Where blocks I place. So we've got these sort of balconies in here. I've got the Hall of Equipment, the Hall of Knowledge. We'll go into the Hall of Knowledge first. So here we come in, and the idea behind this, so again, this is all work in progress, but the idea behind this is that noobs can come in, and I don't know how various, you know, things in the game work, and you can read storage boxes because they're less laggy than signs, and they allow you to write more than signs, which is really bad for signs, and I think is a thing the game needs to fix. Again, good use of the burning bird bath planter, which I think is a mod that has been added to this server. Looks quite cool, gives you some nice lighting effects. So this stairs down, and then the idea is going to have a little feature there, and some knowledge. So this is all work in progress. These columns will actually disappear. They're just in there for support, because once I figure out where the central column will be for support, the other column will disappear. And you can see I've still got work to do there, so moving on. The Hall of Equipment, similar concept, different layout, but I'll have equipment and stuff in here for noobs that they can grab. Maybe with some little puzzles that you've got to enter codes that you find elsewhere to unlock. Don't know, work in progress, probably won't get that far before the server gets wiped, who knows. Moving up. He's claimed an existing house, that's why his problem is. Yeah, don't claim existing builds, because people will accept quests, and then the quest at your house wipes all the shit at your house. So again, I've done this statue sort of concept in the walls. This is the library itself, which I may as well show you now because I'm here. So this is how this build started. I actually started with this concept, just because I wanted a bookshelf in my base that could store them all, but on my books, I went, oh, this is, played around with a bit, got this, I thought, this is nice, and then thought, oh, needs a catwalk in a second level, so second level, catwalk, and then went, oh, it'd be really cool if this was like a library. So my original concept was this was actually going to be my trading room, and I would have vending machines in here for every different thing, because you can see there are 4 bookshelves there, 4 there on each row, 4 upstairs, and then as we go through the library you can see there's, you know, call that a row, there's a row, and we're going upstairs, there's a row. So I've just taken the same concept and repeated it all the way through. Really like how it's come out. I just like the effect it gives you walking through it. So you can go up the stairs here, and I'm just walking slow so you get the idea of the build. You can see here the windows are actually stainless glass. If you can see that edging there, it's because the outside there's a little round bit at the top, and then sort of the main part, just because I needed the outside to look a bit different to the inside. Arch roofs and catwalk, and then, you know, ladders up and down all the way through, so you can go up and down anywhere you like. And the idea was actually I'd put signs atop each of these bookcases, but I haven't done that yet. I might not, don't know. Excuse me. So again, stairs out the front here then, going up. And that's the motto of the library. And again, I've used this skylight concept and arches or support beams over there. Similar concept of the support pillars here, over there. And work in progress. So this is going to be a little cafe area here and some seating here. And this is the info desk where if I move my trader, I'll move her here. And these will be toilets once I've figured out where the columns and things are going to go here. Because I don't like boxy builds, where every sort of room is the same above as the one below, sort of working out the columns and things is something that happens after the fact. So yeah, hence the rebar frame still that is actually a support column for that. We'll go down. We'll go along here. So this is going to be some toilets along here with some windows. Again, lovely view of the acre. Look at that. Look at that nice garden. Just beautiful garden. Lovely. This will be toilets, so that's my concept in progress. Some stairs here. So this is going to be the kitchen. So we come around here. We get a look of the people coming in up the stairs. This will be a kitchen. So this is actually above the stained glass windows that are in the centre of the Hall of Statues. And the idea is this is sort of a desk. I'll have some ovens and sinks and things along the wall here. You can see going for cupboards. I haven't quite figured that out yet. This is just wedges going all around with I'll show you sort of where the block is. You can see that the block in the middle there, which I can't quite get because there's a flagstone pillar there, is actually one of these flagstone plates that's been rotated until it's up. So up like that, and then put there just to give it that flat surface, which then lets me get this edging in. Which I quite like. I quite like the look of this, and I quite like the feel of the room for a kitchen that's in progress. Moving on. I actually like these stairs. It was a major flaw in my previous builds of I'd build a room and then be like, oh, how do I get into it? So stairs go in pretty early now. So these are the stairs. I've got some come out if you need to shoot the zombies coming in. Good defense option there. This big. I do actually intend, once it's finished, I would love to run a Horde night, because one thing this server does really well is Horde night. We all go together to one central place and administrators spawn zombies. You can sort of shoot a couple thousand zombies in a night, which is great, but it would be nice to have it in a place where, you know, zombies are breaking windows and getting in and doing all sorts. You can see I've gone for this concept where this is actually through into there. I haven't figured out what I'm doing in this room yet, but I like playing with spaces where you can see through into another space from one space. So if I actually go back upstairs over here, so there's not much else up here. This is going to be a dining table area, dining area with a kitchen below it, and then there's going to be a ballroom above it. And then above that, I'm going to have a tower and like the master suite, if you will, for the master librarian. But I was going to show you something. That's right. Well, going through, so the concept of sort of how you can see here into the other rooms, and even if you go over here, you'll see that there's actually a hole in the floor, and you can see through into some kind of a temple or church thing down there. So we'll get down there in a moment. Again, here I've got lattices, and you can look through into. So you can sort of see what's through there. Now this whole build is everything's unlocked. I've sort of said to players on this server that feel free to come in and have a look. This is me just being stuck at home because of the apocalypse unfolding outside, and fuck it, I may as well do something with my time. So these are the accommodation suites. I think you've got suites 1 to 3 over here. Again, work in progress. Each suite is the same, so you've got 2 windows, there's going to be a bathroom there, and then you've got, that'll go up. and it'll be sort of the fire escape. Will actually be how I get the lights in. So I've sort of planned ahead to have routing for lights. So I call this my cancerous roof lump. I did actually want it pushed up and indented, but that floor is the library. That ceiling here is the library floor, so I had to build down, because if I dig into that, you go straight into the library. So here you've got really inconsiderate steam turbine slash generator sitting down the bottom there, which would be hella noisy if it was actually real, and horribly inconsiderate for anybody living here. But anyway, again, that concept of looking through from one space into another. You can see I've got to build this wall in. I haven't figured out what I'm doing with windows and the exterior of this yet. This is going to be a dining area slash lounge area for each of the suites. We'll run through here. So this door just goes back into the staircase. This is was actually a bit of a bitch to build. There were a few stability issues until I got the columns underneath sorted. Going down again, second floor of suites. I will actually show you this suite, because this one I've actually decorated. So you can see here, bookshelves, hardened chest, computer with all the latest RAM and the gigabytes and the cores. It's got everything. That one, that's the latest system. Safe. So this is sort of a bedroom. There was actually a lovely bookshelf and a TV here, but I forgot to have a doorway here for my light circuits. So as you can see, work in progress. I'll figure that out. I might rejiggy this a bit. And bathroom, which, yeah, again, work in progress. I'm actually quite happy with these columns here too, just mixing it up and using the white wooden, or the yellow wooden, cream wooden, I suppose, wainscoting. Going down, this is just above a hallway below, so the hall of equipment and the hall of knowledge are on the sides of this, and I just had a bit of extra space, so that'll be pipes and maintenance little area. Again, concept of looking through one area into another. So this is my workshop. So you come down here, and I've gone for an entrance with the green and an exit with the red line. We'll go through there in a minute. So you come in, put your work gear on, you can totally laugh it up as much as you like. I don't. I just build shit that looks nice and go, that's nice. Yes, there are noises outside. It's terrible. You got to go run out and bark at everything. So the idea behind here is station 1, station 2, station 3. I was thinking of like big electrical circuits and control panels for this thing, but I've put that there, and I think instead the idea of having workbenches and cement mixers and forges and things and having them as separate stations, you can see where the zombies break through, which is a bit of a security issue, straight into the workshop, particularly if you fire up all the forges. But what can you do? And again, the maintenance, which will go all the way up, which I'll show you in a moment. So again, work in progress down here, but actually I'm quite proud of... I'll do these signs. So this sign is actually just... I think it is... There's metal fences, but there's wood fences and railing. So this is actually just wood fence all along there, and then painted grey with the lettering on it. And I've spelt out the numbers, because if I put the letter... if I put the actual number 2 there, I can't seem to paint it for some reason. There's some glitch in the game. And they're just held up by some flagstone poles. That's 2 you'll see that's 2 flagstone poles, one that way, and then one rotated that way, just to hold the sign up. So again, and I've done them different colours. I was going to paint the insides different colours, but again, work in progress. I'm sort of keeping with the industrial theme here. Moving on to the generator, I'll go this way to the generator, or the master turbine control, as I call it. I was actually thinking of making these switches turn on generators that were going to be inside here. I might do that, haven't done that yet. Bit of a hatchway down. So again, stairwell, sort of this going up to your generator, which then has a little hatch into it. I go into it because it's really hard to get out of. I have to knock that middle bit out and play with that. But if I put actual generators in there, generator banks, that's where I'll put them. And then I'll have those switches, turn them on and off if I can do that. I'm not sure if I can do that. You'll see the pipes going around the edge. I like the idea. So if I go to the turbine itself, you see I've got on this concept of having pipes coming out, and then I'll get to that in a moment, and then pipes there, which one's going in, and then they're all sort of attached to that, and they all route through and go up or down or somewhere. So just the concept, because what I actually wanted was, I go down to the maintenance tunnel. I wanted this concept of having these underground tunnels with pipes on the walls. So I've done this. Sort of the vault doors where, yes, the emergency steam ventilation, if turned on, vents straight up there into somebody standing in the master turbine control room. I'd call that a problem, but oh well, it's not like these pipes actually do anything. Actually, it'd be really cool if you could pipe water and steam and heat and things through pipes, but that can be a mod or something. So again, here are the outlets. These pipes here, the idea is these are bringing water in, so they go along there, a bit of a storage in this room, into, you know, some water monitoring stations where you can turn the water on and off. Goes up here into your primary turbine water inlet valve. So that puts water in the turbine, into the boiler where it heats up and then comes out. The idea is it turns these fans, which would be a horrible thing because this grate, you'd just have a bunch of leakage and that would be highly inefficient. But anyway, excuse me, then comes out, and then the idea is you've got these pipes where the steam comes out, and there's just another one of these around the other side, but then the steam comes out, and see it comes down here, and that's the other one coming down, and going there, and then, no, sorry, comes out here, and then goes around here, and then up. And this is just the same all the way through. Got some vents here to, you know, vent stuff. And again in here, again, same thing, sort of on the other side, just going through. So again here, the ones on the front come down, go around here, and then go up. And they do actually line up, I think. For the most part, I should have counted it correctly, I think. So the idea is that goes up there, where you can, you know, turning that off with steam coming through it would make it blow, but whatever, and then goes through and is routed then either down or up. Doesn't actually, of course, do anything, but that's the concept behind it. So you can actually follow the pipes, and the idea is they do something. Moving on. So this is going to be a decontamination area. I'll put some showers and things in here. This is a hallway going through into the temple, which you saw previously. So up here, you see that's the stairwell and the skylights, and this is the little temple. You can see my land claim. My other land claim block is actually in the middle of the turbine back there, and that's how the turbine started. The idea of being a feature that would hold the land claim block in it. But the actual position of the land claim block ended up having to be in one of the walls of an internal, and I just bugger it. So this one's actually a little pond in the middle, so you can, you know, come here and do a ceremony, you know, bathe with the holy sacred artifact while somebody preaches over the anointed. Again, we've got this concept of seeing through into the other buildings. So I've got these walkways down the side. So the idea is a priest, or why you have a priest in a library who, don't ask questions, would have access to. So these are going to be toilets here, and then this would be a little room where I've repeated that sort of wardrobe concept with bookshelves and cupboards. It'd be like a ready room or something. If, you know, you could get married and walk up the aisle and you could get ready in there, or who the fuck knows. But again, stairs coming up to, you know, rooms here, which will be chambers of some sort. I'm thinking. I haven't figured that out yet. I'm not too sure on how that's exactly going to go. The last thing I want to show is the roof, which will actually walk up there. I'll just go through this way. So, as I said, each of these suites has, this is the only one I've done it in, fire escape. Now you see that says storage box because this is the back end of the library bookshelves. So all these boxes are the other side of the library. So the idea is this stairwell comes out onto your roof. I'm going to have solar panels there. I'm going to need a lot of solar banks, so there's enough room for 4 here. On 2 on each side, which should give me enough power to be able to power the whole building, I hope, once I've set 4 up in each of these. So they're all the same. Stairs down, all the way down. So I'll put my cabling all through this conduit. So all my circuit junction boxes and all that sort of stuff will be down here. This is the roof. Again, work in progress, and this is the ceiling, obviously, of the main stairwell. And that's about it. That pretty much is it for now. One thing I did want to say, actually, you look at the glass on these, look how clear and wonderful that is. There's no funkiness. Something that I see in a lot of builds. I've got my inventory space, so the broken glass is okay, it doesn't matter. I'll see if I can get it. Is that, yeah. So you can see here, just drop some shit over here and just stick the inventory there. Right, see how there's a bit of a funky, like you can just see the glass isn't right. A lot of people don't realise this, but that's a rotation issue. So to fix that, if you're building this plain glass and you've got this problem, you need to break out the funky stuff. Right, point at some glass you've got down, hold R, copy rotation. Make sure you copy shape as well. And if you do that, it goes smooth. Like you don't see the funkiness anymore. So again, if I rotate something there, you can see there's a bit of funkiness. It's kind of showing up as like walls, glass walls in there. And again, if you've got something like that, point an existing bit of glass, hold R, copy rotation, copy shape obviously, and put it in, and there you go. Actually, another thing I want to explain that I've had a few people not be sure of. You'll see in my inventory, which is too full of shit at the moment, I've got wet concrete blocks, I've got flagstone blocks, and I have, where is it, wood frame blocks. These are pretty much the main building blocks. The reason I have all 3 is if I hold R and go shapes, you will see wood frames. Look, I've got the wood stairs railing left and right. So if I want to put wood stair railings in, I need to go wood frames, and then there we go. I can put those stairs in, and then I'll do one on the right. There's a stair. If I've only got flagstone, if I hold R and go shapes, that option, you can see I don't have the option for that stairs that I've just put down. Now, one of the biggest annoying things I found for that is, so for example, and the other one is rebar, which you'll see I've got right here. So one of the things I've found is your flagstone wedge steep corner, and these are all half blocks on the roof, so I'll go build over on the rebar here. You see that and you go, oh, this would make a nice column. I want to put I'll put a quarter column there, but no matter how much you rotate this around, you're not getting the corner. Because the corner piece is actually a rebar frame, so rebar frame has even less options to choose from, but it does have rebar frame 1/4 block, which you can now rotate around. Go advanced rotation. There you go. And now you can upgrade that. That's now concrete, and if you want, you can upgrade that, and there you go. Block that out. Again, with the stairs, if I want to upgrade those to concrete, I can upgrade them now. So I can't build them as flat. So the reason I've got the wet concrete is the wet concrete has these wonderful half circle or wet concrete pillar caps. It's also got the rounded corners, which you don't find in any of the other shapes. And I think it's got, these sort of little funny concrete support sort of blocks as well. So I've found if you're looking for a block, for example, you want to do a roof, and you're doing something like, if you've just got the wooden frame and you're doing, say, a roof like this, so let's go here and do that, and then we're going to do advanced rotation, and do that, and now I want to have, you can see here that I'm missing a bit here, and you will not find it in wood. What you need to do, actually, yeah, this has the quarter block too. If you, what you need to do is go flagstone, and you'll see they've actually got this flagstone wedge incline, which, if I copy rotation of one of these, there you go. So you have to do a mix of different building materials, and then once you've got them, you've got the shape you want, upgrade it. That's just a little bit that I find a lot of people as you can see too, also the columns, as I said, those columns go all the way up. So it's a really important thing for structural stability in this game to have major support columns, because the way the game works is those support columns, as long as they go all the way down to the ground, they can support, for rebar frames in this case, you should be able to put out, I should be able to go for 12. If I go out the side here, I could go out 12 before it collapses, or I can connect it to another column, obviously. Honestly, that should be another video on the structural integrity of the system, but the idea is these columns all the way up means that I have the structural integrity all the way at the top, so that I can do still elaborate roofs. As you can see here, I haven't been able to do anything on top of this, because if I built more rooms on top, I would have some stability issues around anything in this, because this is a great big empty void under here. Yeah, so there you go. One final thing we will do, just for shits and giggles, because we can. Just do a flyby. Hold space bar. So there we go. So that's the library. As I said, work in progress. I'm desperately trying to finish it off before I expect the server will wipe, because we're expecting Alpha 20 to come out around March. So this has been about 2 months and 2 weeks, particularly over Christmas, that I've spent on it. I would like to finish it before then. We'll see how it goes. And as you can see, a lovely view of Jen's Bakery with some flickering lights there. Oh, and a monolith out the front, because they're all the rage right now. I've put a few of them around the map, actually. They're my fault if you see them. And there you go. There's a disco down there with the light flashing. That's the library, and that's Jen's Bakery. As I said, this is a public build. I don't mind people, guests visiting and opening the doors and having a look. So if you are on the Grindhouse server, feel free to pop through and have a look. I may as well show you its location. So we'll bring up the map as soon as the art of landing. Look at that. Hold spacebar and we've stopped. So when you start in this game, you can see everyone else's bases that I've been marking. You start at the lobby here, down, I don't know if you can see my mouse, I don't think you can see my mouse cursor. You'll start at the lobby, head out east, and then just head north and you'll run into it. My lovely library there, and Jen's Bakery. So there you go. That's it. That's my Christmas during the apocalypse. I hope you enjoyed it.